Oscillating plug of magma causes earthquakes that forecast volcanic eruptions. This is by University of British Columbia. Geophysicists there are offering a new explanation for seismic earthquakes, tremors accompanying volcanic eruptions that could advance forecasting of explosive eruptions, such as recent events in Pinatubo in the Philippines, the Chatan volcano in Chile, Mount St. Helens, Washington. We have, of course, La Palma erupting now, Kilauea, various Japan volcanoes. All explosive volcanic eruptions are preceded by accompanied tremors and that last from hours to weeks, and a remarkable consistent range of tremor frequencies has been observed by scientists before and during volcanic eruptions all around the world. But the underlying mechanism for these long-lived volcanic earthquakes has never been determined. Most proposed explanations are dependent upon the shape of the volcanic conduit, or the vent or pipe through which the lava passes, or the gas content of the erupting magma, characteristics that vary greatly from volcano to volcano and are impossible to determine during or after volcanic activity. Published in Nature journal, the new model developed by University of British Columbia UBC researchers is based on physical properties that most experts agree are common to all explosive volcanic systems and applies to all shapes and sizes of volcanoes. Lead author Mark Jelinek, associate professor at UBC Department of Earth and Ocean Sciences, says all volcanoes feature a viscous column of dense magma surrounded by a compressible and permeable sheath of magma composed mostly of stretched gas bubbles. He says, in our model, we show that as the center plug of dense magma rises, it simply oscillates or it wags around against the cushion of gas bubbles, generating tremors at the observed frequencies. Forecasters have traditionally seen tremors as an important, if somewhat mysterious, part of a complicated cocktail of observations indicative of an imminent explosive eruption. Our model, Jelinek says, shows that in systems that tend to erupt explosively, the emergence and evolution of the tremor signal before and during an eruption is based on physics that are uniform from one volcano to another. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. Jelinek says the role of tremors in eruption forecasting has become tricky over the past decade, in part because understanding processes underlying their origin and evolution prior to eruption has been increasingly problematic. He says because our model is so universal, it may have significant predictive power for the onset of eruptions that are dangerous to humans, of course. And another one by University of California, pre-eruption earthquakes offer clues to volcanic forecasters. So according to the University of California, like an angry dog, a volcano growls before it bites, shaking the ground and getting noisy before erupting. This activity gives scientists an opportunity to study the tumult beneath a volcano, may help them improve the accuracy of eruption forecasts, according to Emily Brodsky, associate professor of Earth and Planetary Sciences at the University of California, Santa Cruz. Brodsky presents recent findings on pre-eruption earthquakes and at the fall meeting of the American Geophysical Union in San Francisco. She says each volcano has its own personality. Some rumble constantly, consistently, while others stop and start. Some rumble and erupt the same day, while others take months, and some never do erupt. Brodsky is trying to find the rules behind these personalities. Now, volcanoes almost always make some noise before they erupt, but they don't erupt every time they make noise, she said. One of the big challenges of a volcano observatory is how to handle all these false alarms. Brodsky and Luigi Passarelli, a visiting graduate from University of Bologna of Italy, compiled data on the length of pre-eruption earthquakes time between the eruptions and the silica content of lava from 54 volcanic eruptions over a 60-year span, they found that the length of a volcano's run-up in the time between the onset of earthquakes and an eruption increases the longer a volcano has been dormant or in repose. Furthermore, the underlying magma is more viscous or gummy in volcanoes with long run-up and repose times. Scientists can use these relationships to estimate how soon a rumbling volcano might erupt. The volcano with frequent eruptions over time, for instance, provides little warning before it blows, such as, of course, Kilauea, as we see. The findings can also help scientists decide how long they should stay on alert after a volcano starts rumbling. Brodsky said, "You can say, my volcano is acting up today, so I better issue an alert and keep that alert open for 100 days or 10 days, based on what I think the chemistry of the system is." Volcano observers are well versed in the peculiarities of their systems and often issue alerts to match, according to Brodsky. But this study is the first to make those observations and stretch them across all volcanoes, she said. The innovation of this study is trying to stitch together those empirical rules with the underlying physics and find some sort of generality. The underlying physics will lead back to magma, Brodsky says. When the pressure in the chamber builds high enough, the magma pushes its way to the volcano's mouth and it erupts. The speed of this ascent depends on how viscous the magma is, which depends in turn on the amount of silica in the magma. The less silica, the runnier the magma. For example, the runny magma that we have in Kilauea. The runnier the magma, the quicker the volcanic chamber fills and the quicker it will spew, according to Brodsky. Again, let's look at Kilauea. The 2018 eruption, those lava rivers were going at 18 miles an hour. Now, the path from chamber to surface is not easy for magma as it forces its way up through the crust. The jostling of subsurface rock causes pre-eruption tremors, which oscillate in length and severity based on how freely the magma can move. Brodsky said if the magma is very sticky, then it takes a long time both to recharge the chamber and to push its way to the surface. It extends the length of precursory activity. Thick magma is a culprit behind the world's most explosive eruptions because it traps gas and builds pressure like a keg, she said. Mount St. Helens is an example of a volcano fed by viscous magma. Brodsky and Passarelli diagrammed the dynamics of magma flow using a simple analytic model of fluids moving through channels. The next step, Brodsky said, is to test the accuracy of their predictions on future eruptions. Volcanoes are messy systems, though, and with wildly varying structures and mineral ingredients, observatories will likely have to tweak their predictions based on the unique characteristics of each system, she said. This is from University of California, Santa Cruz on phys.org. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support.